Yep.
So when did you start? When did you stop with track and everything? Like when you just walked
2000 away? 2013.
Okay, and you started driving trucks when? Right after that?
2013.
Yeah.
Yep. So I tried to work like local jobs, and then it wasn't kicking it.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I'm gonna go truck drive. I always used to. So as I came to America, them big trucks fascinate me. So I was like, I was that kid.
Yeah, my granddaddy was a truck driver, so I know.
see,
Yeah.
My daddy was a truck driver.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So did you wrestle at all during that time? No combat at all.
No comment. Because I was just, I don't, like I said, I'm still, football, wrestling is harder to do in college because there's not that many colleges there, especially on the East Coast. So I'll have to go out west. And I still don't, at this point in life, I still don't know much about college and stuff. Now I went and got my good grades and different stuff like that. Messed up a little bit, had them knucklehead season. But other than that, I'm still trying to figure out the college stuff. So I'm just going with the flow. And but track and stuff is easy to move. And I had my Coach Iverson. He took over from Coach Foote in high school as far as like help with helping guiding me because he was for Coach Foote. He was in the middle school. He came to the high school for just to coach wrestling. But other than that, Coach Iverson, he was like, all right, go ahead, do this, do that. So, yeah.
Damn. So you just kind of, once you left, you just start driving trucks.
Yeah, I was just.
Full-time job.
Full-time.
You didn't have a kid by then, right?
No, Gavin, matter of fact, 14. Yeah, so the next year, Gavin was born. So, stopped doing that. Then 2014, Gavin was born. But I was truck driving through there, yeah.
Okay, so your gripe with football is because of all the politics.
The politics and just the injury and stuff. You know what I mean? It's like I love the sport. I love how it like you said, it builds a good character in you. You know what I mean? And it shows you, especially in life, like, okay, I got to rely on this man next to me.
Right.
And this man is also relying on me. So I have to give 100%. Like I can't, let's say we run a 4-3 and my tackle right here, I'm the end and he just do whatever. Now I'm getting double team or blasted because he not chipping the guard or doing something. Now I'm getting blasted and that could end my career.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now it's like but they could end his too if I do something wrong. So it's like you know that you don't want to see your brother get hurt or you don't want to let him down. And that stuff, it feels, first of all, field session is where to get you.
They'll get you.
That laser pointer is kryptonite.
It's crazy though.
Who this on this plate? What
who is that?
And they cuss you out, boy.
Yeah, my son he was like, man, I know my oldest one, that's why he goes out and play as hard as he need to because he don't want to be pointed out on film.
See?
So that and I was like, I understand it. So make sure you do what you got to do. So I don't want to be that person on when they watch film on whenever Monday. You come in and be like, who is this? Like, what are you doing, Williamson or whatever?
See, everybody got that same hand motion. That's how they do it. Everybody got that same hand motion, boy.
Yeah.
But y'all both agree that kids shouldn't play. Well, and everybody can do what they want to. My son started playing at 5. Mm-hmm. But now that I'm older and I look back on it, I think about it. And I look and like, maybe that wasn't good. But from both of your perspective, it's not a good thing.
I just say wait as long as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, like my son, I let him do tackle one season. He figured it out.
Yeah.
So now he's doing the flag football thing. But it's like, why? Because I've seen, like you said yourself, you can start later and still have a great career.
Have a great career, yeah.
You don't have to and half these kids nowadays, honestly, the coaches are trash.
I agree.
So it's like and they just sitting there belittling your kid and getting your kid hit for no reason. It's like, you soft, you this, you that, and they just belittling your kid. Now it's like, what did that help? Now, granted, he learned some new words,
right? I agree. Yeah,
and he might get tougher like mentally, but you don't know what you gonna have to deal with because the kids nowadays are different than when we got different. I seen my coach waterboard a kid.
Yeah,
really? Under the water trough.
Yeah,
man. I remember Lil Jameson, he held his face mask down and turned that water faucet on.
Really?
And Jameson, he's still maybe 130 pounds as an adult.
Yeah.
And the coach, he put that thing and turned that water on. And he was out there. Jameson got us started swinging. We went right back to practice. Yeah. You can't do that now, man. You'll be in jail. But it was fun.
Yeah.
Waterboard.
Yeah, boy. I forgot what Jameson was doing, but he acted up. Coach just grabbed him, put him on that water thing, and went boom, helmet on too. So that water just hit me.
Right. That is wild.
You can't do that now.
Yeah.
So it's like,
All right, so it's 2013, and I know you like, man, how we get to UFC? It's already 2023.
Yeah.
So you drove trucks from how long?
until I was 28. So 23, because I'm born in 90, so I could keep up with that. I was 23 and I drove until I was 28.
Okay, so that's 2028. I mean
18.
18.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you wrestle or train at all?
I ain't do nothing.
Nothing during that.
I was a
period.
fat truck driver.
You was
He
driving
been
trucks.
eating. He was driving.
Yeah, I was eating good, boy.
Yeah, that's
Sunflower seeds and Gatorades.
That's 5 years ago.
Yeah.
That's 5 years ago. You was doing no training, no wrestling, just driving
no.
trucks. Okay, man. I mean, okay. So, what made you decide to train again or get back into? What made you want to fight?
Oh, I didn't want to fight. I just, like you asked earlier, you kept asking, like, where's the wrestling coming? After I got fat, saw some pictures, I was like, oh, dog, you done let it go. It was this one picture, and I don't know why my wife put it in the house, but it's this one picture with me and my son coming out this indoor water park in or a little pool they got in Pittsburgh. And boy, I looked like a butterball.
Did you?
And I was like, granted, my arms and stuff always look good, but my stomach always blowed up. And I was like, dang. So, me and a friend of mine, we was like, okay, let's do this bet. First person to lose, get down, we was like 270, 280. First person to get like 230, 220, get a bottle of liquor, whatever liquor you want from the store. I was like, okay, shoot. So I started working out, getting up, work out before I go drive, and then just did that until I lost the weight. Then when I lost the weight, I'm like, shoot, I feel good. I'm 28 now, so I'm still, thinking whatever. So I'm like, why don't I try for the Olympics for wrestling? Find.
Who does that though?
I don't know.
But let me just try for the Olympics.
Yeah, so I'm in shape now.
Yeah. So was this for the Virgin Islands?
Yeah, for the Virgin Islands.
Okay.
But there's nobody wrestling.
Gotcha.
Now, granted, you still got to go through the Olympic qualifying stuff, but there's nobody. So I know it's an easier path than if I'm doing USA wrestling.
Yeah.
So then once you get to Olympics, you got to face whoever.
Right.
I'm not worried about that part. I'm just like, okay, go ahead. Because, USA, they want the young guns and all this stuff. Virgin Islands don't care. They're like, all right, you pay for it. We don't care.
Right.
So I was like, let me go and try to do that because I'm in shape. So I was in Pittsburgh and I ended up moving back to Georgia. So I called my old teammates up, Cody Durden. I was like, hey man, what's your gym that you train at? I want to get back into wrestling. One, it's a dang MMA gym. He did not even mention that. He's just like, yeah, come to my gym, train, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, cool. So I show up to the gym and I just take the classes. They tell me and I ain't watching no MMA, nothing.
Yeah.
I wasn't watching the sport at all. So same thing like football. I ain't watching nothing. I'm just sitting there just in la la land. I'm like, all right. So, but I'll show up at 5. I'll leave at 8. But they got the different classes. I just take all the classes and just kept doing that.
Yeah.
Then we ended up going to Thailand. So I started training in, I think like October or August. And I went to Thailand in November. We ended up going to this bar, it's called the Reggae Bar in Phi Phi Islands in Thailand. And you can fight. They have a cage in the middle of the bar. You can fight, or they have like live fights, Muay Thai fights. So if you win, you get a bucket of liquor. That's all the incentive I need. I lost weight for liquor. Shoot, I'll fight for liquor. So
right.
we out there, and like I said, I'm only training like 3 months or so. Went out there, fought this one guy from Europe, and he trained as well. So we have a good fight. Showed a video to my coach. My coach was like, because normally they want you to wait a year before a fight, but my coach was, all right, we get you a fight. So February, they booked my first fight. Guy ended up not showing up, so I ended up fighting my first fight in March. And I just kept fighting as much as I can. Let's say if I fight in March, then April I do a kickboxing. Then every other month I do kickboxing or MMA. Kickboxing or MMA as much as I can.
Yeah.
Because you got to still find the opponent. So as much as I can. And then I just kept doing that until I just fell into the UFC.
Yeah. So you kind of fell in the UFC, right? MMA.
Yeah.
So you got to be a certain type of individual, right? To take a punch. Take a punch and get hit, whatever, then get back up or whatever.
Yeah.
What's your mindset when you get in the ring with somebody what you call it, the octagon?
Yeah, octagon. Yep.
When you get in the octagon with somebody and you get that first punch in the face.
All right, let's go.
That's you?
That's it. It's all right, let's go. You know, that first hit in the game is like, all right, let's go.
Let's get it. Yeah.
So it's the same mindset. Like the mindset's still the same. Difference is with football, you getting body contact and hits. The punches have, especially with MMA, have the punches don't really be too much. And you get cut because of the elbows and stuff like that. So people are like, oh, that's a bloody fight. If you look, a glove might scrub you because of the leather, or the elbow will get you. Yeah. And it's more superficial than painful. That's why you see a lot of people, they be like, damn.
Right.
You know, now the elbows will put you out, but most of the time if it's like cuts up here and stuff, it's not too bad. It looks worse than what it
actually is.
Yeah, actually is. You know, because most people look at the bloodiness of it. Right. And it's like, oh, that's so thing. It's like, no, not really that much damage. Now you do take a beating, like you get in there with the wrong person, you take a whooping. But you know, if it's a good fight, you're like, and then you get, the thing is, you get beat up way worse at practice. Yeah. So you get the same thing with football. You know, you take them hits at like, dang,
have you ready for the
game,
the game or the match.
Yep. So the same thing, but you just gotta be okay with getting punched in the face.
I don't know a lot of people that's okay with that though.
I'm a big fan of UFC, and because of that, because I see two men in the octagon, and it's like, man, that's it. I mean,
that's it, right?
There's nobody to come save you,
right? And
the man across, and that's my thing with you. When I first met you, your attitude is like, you know, you picture these guys as killers, right? You know, and you know, you don't come off that at all, you know. But it's the mindset. So like when you're in there, and the guy across from you wants to kill you. And me and you talked about your last fight, and you said when the lights when turned off, like, what were you thinking about?
Oh, like the last fight, this is my first time in like a big arena, because we did the Spectrum Arena in Charlotte, and the lights turned off. I was like, oh, and I just watched Dan Creed. Yeah. So the lights turned off, and like Creed, the lights turned off, and it's just like nothing, and you know that little fight scene in the last one. So I'm like, oh, it's just like the movie, right? But it's now the round started, so he's coming to hit me, but I'm looking behind him like, oh, the lights are turned off. So he's like, oh shoot, and then we started fighting. But it was just like, in my mind, I'm just thinking like, oh, the lights turned off, like, because it went completely black. Right. But at first you could look out, you could see the crowd and different stuff. But when the round started, everything went completely black outside the cage. I was like, oh, okay.
This was like, huh?
Yeah. In the arena, because I fought in smaller venues, and the lighting and how it's set up is different. But when you step into that, I was like, oh, okay.
I mean, you train for a fight. You train for months. I mean, you never stop training, I guess, really. Nah. Is there ever a point in a fight where you get hit and that training goes out the window and it's like a survival thing?
I haven't been put in that position yet, but I could imagine. But then hopefully, you know, the training kicks in, as far as like, I was just talking to somebody about like muscle memory. So where it's like, you touch if your hand touch something hot, your brain don't need to process what it is. Right. It's gonna naturally just pull it off of the fire. So stuff like that is what you want your body to just do. Like, matter of fact, and a lot of people you see when they get knocked out, they start grabbing, they start wrestling. The referee, if the referee pull them off, they gotta like calm them down, because their body just go into like automatic like grab, defend. Yeah. So you won't. But if you like, people like, man, I see red. Nah, you don't want to see red. Right. You don't want to. You start seeing red, you might as well just open the cage or jump out the cage, because you finna get the brakes beat on everything. Because you gotta be like football. Matter of fact, you got that one player just in your head talking. Yeah. Now you messing up how your assignment. You thinking you just focus on this play, especially in the close ones. You play cornerback,
receiver.
Oh, receiver. See, so you getting that DB head. He like and I got you. You know, so it's the same thing. You can't you gotta be like me. I'm just hanging out in there. Yeah. You know, so but that's a good thing with like football, even just wrestling. I wrestled before, so that 1-on-1, that's why I always love football, wrestling, because like you said, it's just me and you. Yeah. I don't gotta worry about nothing. Like what I worked on is going to show. Yeah. Compared to like football, if they like, I remember we played one game and they run into the other side. I can't really Coach don't know if I'm doing that good or that bad. I might do bad on this assignment, but they run away from my side. And now you see like a lot in all the different levels of football where these kids, they like, all right, it ain't on my side. I'm good. And they just chilling. You like, dude, if you don't get, that's the whole reason we do pursuit angles.
Right.
Run your behind across the field. But you watch them in the pros, you watch them in college. Play going once it down on the other side of the hash. She ain't got nothing to do with me.
You right.
Bro, show me your speed. Chase them down, catch them.
Right, that's right. Yeah.
Nah, you too fast. I'm good.
Right,
I
he already too far ahead. Right,
He ain't gonna look bad. He ain't gonna make me look bad.
Yeah. I feel you.
So did you fight as a young person?
All the time in the islands, yeah.
All the time. So fighting isn't like, is fighting just I want to say is it a sport? Of course it's a sport, but you know, as a young person, you play football, you could play in the street, you could play basketball. Was fighting like that?
We did, like in school, we play fight a lot, and then just turn into real fights, and then just go from there. But I come from a long family line of fighters. So, like you go to Trinidad and you hear about my dad's stories and my aunts. My aunt, they talk about my aunt going to the school beating up teachers and stuff. Yeah.
So you had no choice. You was gonna be a fighter.
Yeah,
you was gonna come out either
some way or another.
Yeah.
But I would say, and that's what we talked. I think I hit on earlier with the wrestling. It showed you the discipline on thing. Growing up with my grandmother and also doing like the wrestling and the sports. Mm-hmm. Kind of like turned me soft to certain things. So then you see like the energy I got now, but you still got that, your natural, your family type stuff in you. But now I know like my sister, she'll fight. And my sister's 6 feet. She'll fight anybody. Yeah. She be beating up her boyfriends and stuff. You'd be like, dang, y'all, like, you can't be beating up. And then she be, she big. Yeah. So yeah, she loved now her. She different. She fight like this. You don't want to take her nowhere. So she be fighting you at Walmart. You talk too crazy. She'll let you slide a little bit. She working on herself, but man, that's the one you call. Even when I got a friend, he be like, man, I'm gonna call your sister, man. People acting up, I'm calling your sister because she quick to start throwing hands. So it's just a family thing.
So about family. So you said you married, right?
Yes, sir.
How many kids you got?
2. Boy 9, daughter 3.
You been married for?
Oh, see why you do that? We'll edit. Nah, hopefully she don't get this part. 8 years. Okay. 8 years.
So she was there when the fights and all that was going on.
Yeah.
Was she would come to the fights?
She'll come to the fights, yeah.
So she don't mind watching. You met your wife.
Oh no,
yeah.
I met her in college freshman year.
Okay.
So we met freshman year of college, and we've been rocking since.
Okay.
But she come to the fights, but the first time I ever experienced was the Sean Strickland fight. Mm-hmm. And I got the anxiety and when he fought Alessandro recently. And I was like, what the heck? And then she was like, this how we feel.
Right.
Because she get headache. She had a whole routine she do now for the fights. Mm-hmm. So she got to take her Advil or Tylenol beforehand and do all this whole ritual and calm down. And then she go for the fights. If not, her head start hurt. My mother, the last fight in Vegas, she was crying. I was like, what you crying for? I don't know.
Things we put our parents through, but playing these crazy sports, man, it's crazy. My wife, man, she probably been to maybe 3 games. I mean, we've known each other since high school, so she's only been to maybe 1 game, 2 or 3 games
out of your whole 6-year career.
I'm talking about high school and college also.
Oh, wow.
Oh shoot!
She's only been like 3 games
for your entire career.
My entire career.
But football. My mother be talking about football, so yeah, I guess.
So yeah, I mean, she just, and you probably can ask her something about football now. She probably won't know too much. Now she's starting to learn because the boys are playing, but she really could care less when I was playing. For one, we out there, beating each other up. So she ain't care like that. So, but yeah.
I wonder how your kids feel about I know my boys love watching you fight, but how your kids feel like when they're watching you fight.
Yeah.
Well, Gavin's still young, but
I think he just like the I guess the being able to say it in school.
Right.
But I think he like it. My daughter, she gonna be like my sister.
Yeah.
She'll punch you in the throat in a heartbeat. Yeah. She like, Daddy, you. She kept calling me Big Belly, Big Belly, and then she was telling like, Daddy, you Big Belly, Big Belly, and I did gain a little weight, but I was like, dang, calm down. And then she ended up just tell me. So she insulted me with the big belly part, then just punched me in my neck.
Right.
Boom, a good hook too.
Yeah.
I was like, geez.
So you going would they do MMA? I mean,
Yeah, I let them train. I don't really want them. They play whatever sport they want to
Right.
do. And you probably the same way with your kids. It's like, well, especially once you been through the gringer, it's like to force somebody to play sports because you want them to play it.
Right.
It's like you don't have to go through these practices. And then especially with like football or even some of these sports with these coaches, I remember we had a basketball coach who was like, ain't my job to get y'all in college?
Right. See,
So he didn't want to send film on nothing.
Yeah, I get told all the time by parents, especially some of the guys that's highly recruited now in high school, with some of these coaches do. And I just don't quite understand, like, why are you in this job if you're not trying to see somebody younger that's talented, get out of any situation? I just really don't understand some of these coaches. And I think we might need to bring a couple of coaches on here to try to pick their brain and try to figure out, because I know for sure, I know what I'm doing when it comes to my kids, but some of these, single moms or single parent homes, they just don't know. And especially to be able to hold, it's probably I got some insight. I'm gonna talk to you after I finish with this.
Okay.
But I ain't gonna do it on camera because I don't want nobody to know.
Yeah.
But and I just don't see it. And it makes me upset because I know the child I was growing up. I mean, as far to be able to get out of that situation, I mean, it opened up so many other doors for me. And not just I know I was talented, but I didn't know how to get out. Like you said, like I didn't know I can go to college. I just know I was good at football. Yeah. So my plan was to get a job after high school.
See?
And then college kind of fell in the lap, then the NFL fell in my lap. But like if you don't know, I mean, it's your job as a coach to be able to point that student athlete in the right direction.
So they doing a disservice.
I agree. Go find another job or something.
Because that college, granted, even if that kid just go to a D3 school,
right,
just be able to get out of his hometown and actually the culture of college,
right,
and meeting new people. I was on other podcasts and we was talking about it, and it was like you meet people from around the world, just different cities, different states, even down to like some of these let's go color wise, black kids, right? They grow up in like a predominantly white area. They might be the only token black kid in their school. Then they go to a HBCU and they're like, oh shoot, people look like me that like anime or like this or like that. And it's like, they'll have never understood that if they didn't go to college or they didn't go to certain things. Yeah. Now they could just be like, oh well, I'm the only person like this. I'm weird. And it's like, no, this person from the hood, granted you might have been in an all white, whatever area. This other person from a whole completely different situation likes the same stuff. So it's not because you grew up, let's say, around like white people, whoever the situation is, that you like this. No, you just like this because you like this, and somebody else that look like you like this as well, that has a whole different background.
Right.
And that's for me a basic way of putting it, but it's like college, just to get a kid out of that town, and like you said, look at you now, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've been 6 years in the NFL is hard. You could have went. You've been working at the local, like we just talked about the chicken.
Plant,
And it's like all that talent went to waste. You know what I mean? And then some of these kids, and then even like we said with the gripe with football, I've had coaches, I've seen college coaches that were cool to me, talk to some other players, and it was like the guy had to watch his sisters.
Right.
Mother had to work, he had to watch his sister, and the coach was basically like, you need to pick football. Like you want to be on this team, you need a thing. It's like, why would you put a kid in that situation? And you know how some people are living. Like, why would you, put him in that situation? It ain't his fault the mother got kids, but he part of the family, he got to help. So it's like, but some of these coaches don't see care. That. They just, I want to get these wins.
I'm gonna tell this story. I think maybe my second year in the NFL in Minnesota, I had a brother in a car accident, right? Paralyzed, can't walk, and I wasn't allowed to go home for the accident. So, I brushed it off. My head coach said, don't go. I can't go. So, I brushed it off. And then about 3 weeks later, my grandma passed So, like I told him, like, straight up, like, I went to my position coach first. He was like, Troy, just go, and we'll handle it when you get back. So I went, stayed home a whole week, missed the game. Came back that Monday, the head coach called me in the office. He was like, we're going to take your paycheck for the week you was out. I was like, man, you take my salary for the rest of the year. I don't care. I wasn't going to miss my grandma's funeral.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to do that. So then later on that week, some of the vets, some of the older guys, it's my second year. Some guys who've been playing 10, 12 years went to the head coach. It was like, nah, you can't. You ain't finna take his check for going home to his grandma's funeral. Like, we ain't gonna let you do that. His brother was in a bad car accident 2 weeks ago. Grandma passed. Like, you can't do that. So he ended up giving me I ended up getting my check back. But what I did was I donated to the local Boys and Girls Club that week's salary. So, and that still sticks with me today. I did a podcast for somebody, and every time they bring Coach Childress up, because that's when I got traded to Jacksonville. So I'm in Jacksonville. We about to play Minnesota. And the media talking like, what do you think of Coach Childress, blah, blah, blah. And I told him, like, straight up, like, if I see him, like, we can meet on the 50-yard line and we can go at it. Like, I will give him my business. Because, I felt that was a sign of disrespect. But those are the type of coaches that I don't think they put too much stuff into their job, not enough in their family. Because if you could tell somebody that you can't go home for something that important, then
that don't even make sense.
I just still don't understand it. That's why I think it bothered me the way it bothered me back then, because I'm all about family. Like, I've always been all about my family. So for somebody to tell me like, nah, or what he told me, I can go to the funeral, but I had to come right back. But I was like, people depending on me. Like, it ain't just go home, show my face. This ain't just anybody, right? Yeah. So this is my grandma, somebody who helped raise me, somebody I love. Like, you can't tell somebody that. That's why my position coach was like, you just go home, handle your business, stay as long as you need to stay, then come back. Yeah. You have coaches like my position coach, then you got some BS coaches like the head coach was.
And it's always the head coach, because my problem with the head coach, my problem was with the head coach. It's like, dude, like, you have other players. And this is life. Like, this is a game. This is the game, and then you got life.
Right.
I might never, like, me going back home for that funeral might change one of my family members, or change the projection of something for me staying there that long. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like I said, mentally.
Right.
Mentally, yeah.
Why would you? I wouldn't even want you on the field. You talking about, yo, man, go come on, sit down and cry. Right. That's why we talk about now, everybody be on the mental health now. Yeah. Like, for football, it's like, I don't want my son going through that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because it's like, I don't want, and I've seen them do that. I had a teammate of mine. He ended up transferring to South Carolina State and we ended up being roommates. Because we both went to Georgia State. And one of the coaches was like, he broke his leg at practice. Mm-hmm. He rushing to get back, trying to get into the Alabama game at the end of the season. He rushing to get back healthy. Mm-hmm. The whole time, you're a waste of a scholarship. You're a waste of a scholarship. You're a waste of a scholarship. Dude, I'm rushing my rehab and I broke my leg. I can see why I was out here hooping.
Right.
Yeah, you definitely a waste of scholarship. You doing dumb stuff we tell y'all not to do. There's stuff you're not supposed to do when you go. But you break it at practice and you up here just belittling me every day. I got to deal with this stuff on top of, you don't know how mentally I feel. Right. Because we just had to sit a whole year and not play. Now the first season I get to play and do something, and you don't know what people's aspirations or dreams are. Like you said, for us, granted we were just going through the flow, but some people that's dead. Like, I want to make it to the NFL. Right. Like, this is only thing for me. And now I'm hurt, and I got to hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's terrible. Did y'all have a conversation after that?
Who?
You and Coach
Childress? No, I got traded the next year.
Oh, okay.
Because he was a new coach. I want one of his guys, so he didn't draft me. So I want one of his guys. So it was easy for him to be like, well, we'll just take our losses. So that's when I got
crazy.
I mean, that's the business for you, though.
Yep.
And it's probably coaches like that at every level.
No doubt.
Oh, and imagine an 8-year-old dealing with that type of coach.
Right.
I see it.
You're only good for them until you're not. Mm-hmm. That's it.
And that's your gripe with football.
Yep.
I get that.
Because you love the sport. That's the thing. Like, most of the people love the sport. I still love the sport. But it's the extra stuff you got to deal with. It's like, I do MMA. We get banged up. The same, like, different ways, but we get banged up too. You know what I mean? But it's like, I don't have a coach trying to hold me back or putting me in bad positions. Like, because I could just switch to another gym.
Right.
You can't switch to another school.
Right.
Or another team.
Half the time, I remember they were doing my friend bad, and his dad wanted him to switch, and he should have. Man, he was so great of a running back. But he couldn't remember the plays and stuff like that. Nobody really took the time out to help him with the plays or try to make the plays easier.
Right.
And now, especially when you hear the NFL stories with some of these running backs who just talented, but bricks for brains, and it's like, but they made it work for them.
Yeah,
our team I think could have did that for him. I remember they put him in one game senior year. Man, he broke loose.
Yeah,
had the whole out offensive line. Everybody ran, trying to help him block, and their whole defense crowded up. So everybody on that one ball of field.
Yeah,
man, all of a sudden he popped out the back, took off. It's like we had that all season. He just make plays.
Yeah.
He just make plays, but they wouldn't use him.
Yeah. I mean, for me, from the outside looking in from football, there's so many people involved in this and what's going on. And you can be the most talented person, but if the people around you don't believe in you or they won't take the time, or a teammate. I mean, it's just so many people involved in your success.
Yeah.
I think that's the toughest part for me. It's
right.
like, man, you could do so much and just still fail.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's sad. That's not sad, but it's tough.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of coaches put that blame on the kids.
On the kids.
And I'm saying kids 'cause I'm around the kids.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Man, these kids get blamed for a lot.
Let me. I got another story for you.
Okay.
This past week, my oldest son, which was playing on JV, my youngest son, which was on the B team. So the B team game got canceled. So they were automatically going to move the boys up. So my oldest son comes in. He was like, they plan on putting Royce on varsity. Now remind me, Royce is a B team player. Like he's below JV.
Yeah.
Great athlete, got the mind of a football player. So I'm like, no, they're not. Like they're not finna go from B team. We're not finna jump from B team to varsity.
Yeah.
Because you finna go against some guys that's been doing this all year.
Yeah.
So in my mindset, like, and then my younger son comes in, and he was a little upset. I'm like, no. I said, first off, the coaches should have called me and your mom and had that conversation with us before bringing that to you. So I'm like, have your coach call me. He called me. He said, well, the coaches finally got to see Royce in practice. He's been practicing against the varsity, and we think he can play varsity. So you ain't finna go off for one practice, tell my son think he can, play varsity. Nah, I told Royce, like, you might think you're ready, but your dad ain't gonna put you in no bad situation. Yep. For one, you're not finna go out there and be made look stupid, and two, to get hurt.
Yep.
Because we talking about a 5A school with seniors, and we're talking about my freshman son. Now he ain't a small dude, but he ain't the guy that's gonna get out there and get beat up by some linebacker that's so. And the coach was like, well, that's your son. You can decide to do it. Whatever you want to do with him. But that really hurt me because that really made me mad.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing that really get under my skin. That's my kids.
Yeah.
Like especially you doing that bad on the team that you got to move ninth grader up and tell him that he gonna start on varsity in ninth grade, and my other son that's on JV, like, I don't think I don't think Royce ready. Royce, I ain't taking nothing from you. Like, you my brother, I love you, but that's what my older son tell him. Like, but my son Royce, like, if it wasn't for me and his mama, like Royce would have took the challenge, no doubt.
For sure, I could tell.
But my younger son, like, he knows, like, he started on varsity. He was, as a sophomore, was gonna play for varsity, but he was like, I got a senior in front of me, so just put me back on JV.
Yeah.
And because I want to play, I don't want to just be sitting behind over.
Yep.
Yeah. So they let me play. But the personalities is different.
Yeah.
Royce would have jumped in the fire. My second son would have jumped in the fire. Yeah. And they wanted to do the same thing with my daughter, because my daughter is a monster when it comes to volleyball. And I get people saying all the time, like, maybe she need to play up, or maybe she need to go play for the high school. Like, my daughter in 7th grade. Like, I don't want her around these high school girls yet. Yeah. There's already enough drama in middle school. No. So I want my daughter to my kids, period, to stay as young as possible. But I ain't gonna put them in no situation where they get discouraged or have to deal with unnecessarily mental stuff. You know what I'm saying? So let them enjoy where they at, get all the accolades you want on B team, and then they moved him up to JV. My second son had a nice touchdown. The boy can play.
A nice touchdown.
Yeah, he gonna be a player. And my older son too. Like, my older son, he on the deep side of the ball. He loves some contact. So I got a nice crew, and I can't bring up my youngest boy. He ain't gonna be no sports guy. He a books guy. He loves his books.
He's gonna run the world.
He gonna run the world for sure.
You're gonna see his touchdowns on Blue Marble. Go check that out.
Yeah, but I just want to get that across, because some of these coaches always look out for self and not looking out for the child.
But do the coaches, and I'm just devil's playing the show, before they make a change for both of y'all, before they do something, because maybe he was just making his change, maybe not. I'm just saying, maybe he was making a change based on He just want to win a game. So if a coach wants to make a change to win a game, should they call the parents before any changes?
No doubt, because I feel like they should, especially when you're making that big of a jump. Because, the level of play is a lot more intense at a varsity level than it is a B team. Just like you're not going to leave high school football and go straight to the NFL. You got to at least spend 3 years in college. Why? To get yourself accustomed to where you're trying to get to.
Yeah.
So that was my thought, parents. So they should reach out to us and let us make that decision for them. Because if not, you have kids like Royce. Just go ahead and just take the challenge.
And I guess that's similar to what you were saying. Well, nobody knew about football, so you kind of just making decisions on your own, and the coach is kind of just pushing you.
Right.
Because I should have never been playing defensive end.
Right.
I'm the fastest kid on the team. Why am I playing defensive end? Then when I go to college, and I remember sitting down asking the coach, I was like, show me, can you explain the defense to me? Don't worry about that. You don't need to worry about that. Now I go to college, they move me to linebacker where I'm supposed to be, outside linebacker. I don't know what the heck cover 2 is. I don't know curl the flat. I don't know nothing.
Right.
Now you sent me to a situation where I have to even understand what this thing, because the only thing I know is the line go this way, the line go that way. Inside gap, outside gap. That's it. Or pull. And that's just timing. Yeah. That's basic, whatever. Now you start coming into the linebacker situation. That's why flag football is good. Because now you come into the linebacker skill position. And I like with flag football, especially because I coached my son the last 2 times. And I let everybody do whatever. And you have to do whatever because ain't no lineman.
Ain't no lineman,
so
right.
now everybody got to work on their hands, work on speed, work on defense, and follow pursuit and stuff like that. But yeah, so for me, it's like, okay, I go to college, you don't know what the heck cover 2 is.
Right.
Then you try to add Okie and cover 3.
Right.
So we was running the Steelers defense when they had Harrison. So now I'm playing Harrison position. I don't know nothing, but they want to win games. Yeah. So put the big dude up front. He fast. I remember I'd be on the right side. That's why I say with pursuit. That was my thing. So I'll go upfield. They'll break a run. Man, I chase them down. You see my big behind just coming down the field, catching them, right? But why am I in that position? Why I could be playing linebacker, which if I even never had a neck injury, probably would got more scholarship offers.
Yeah.
And go from there. But they don't care. They just pulling you wherever. So that's why I think, and it's a good thing. It's a catch-22 with like talking to the parents, because it's like if I'm an involved parent, then yeah, you need to come and talk to me. But then some coaches would be like, well, this is my team. I'm running my team. I can't get your approval for everything. But then again, too, if you want them to play varsity, you should have them practicing with varsity from the beginning of the year. If you even saw that, you didn't see that until now. Somebody out. Yeah. So now I'm questioning your motives.
Right. And see, that's what I was thinking also.
That's true.
Because I don't want you to call me because you want to move my son to right corner or left corner or receiver. As long as it's on the same level, like. That's fine, but you talking about moving my kid to a whole nother level. Yeah, 2 levels. That I don't think he was ready for. Yeah. Physically, anyway.
That could be a life decision.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying about reach out to the parent when it comes to something like that.
And like, if your kid is playing in a situation where the coaches aren't, I'll say good, or they don't care. Right. What do you do?
Take them out the sport. Move them to another school. Because this thing, you can have a kid who's have issues mentally or physically, or you can have a healthy kid and just focus on them grades. Yeah. You don't need, because this thing, football is like, I love the sport and I love MMA, but it ain't the NRB all. Like, how many people making it to the NFL? How many people, like, you are blessed, especially with the stuff. It's like, not that many people are doing it. So you gonna kill yourself to do what? Even like in college, at FIU, one of the guys, they called him Tin Man. I think he ain't had no cartilage in his knee, so you have to get it filled up. Yeah. He ain't making it to the NFL. He gonna make it the rest of this season. Right, when we need you. Right. You ain't.
That's crazy.
Then guess what? You gonna need a knee replacement by 23, right? He gonna be because he in early 20s. Yeah. He gonna need a knee replacement by 23. They gotta fill him up every couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
So
and see, that's another job of a coach also, because sometimes you need to save a player from himself and know when to sit a player, and you just know he got to get shots every a couple of weeks, I mean, that bro, you got to be like, nah, bro, you got to sit this one out until you get yourself together, or especially if they talking about you ain't got no cartilage between your knees, bro. You might have did that's about it. Yeah, that ain't it.
I mean, I can't
keep them on scholarship and let them.
Yeah, let them finish up. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see too many coaches that's like that.
What's that to be able to
put a kid's health aside for the W?
Right.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
I see a lot of kids every weekend, and I've probably seen thousands of kids this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
No lie. Probably seen thousands. And there's probably 6 or 7 that a couple of them want to be out there, but there's 6 or 7 that really want to be out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, what you mean by really want to be out there?
They're trying to win, and they're trying to win by any means necessary. Which also means they're safer.
Right.
You know, so the other kids who don't necessarily want to be out there, to me, they're in danger.
I agree.
Yep. Oh yeah.
And I can see it, and it's like, oh man, he doesn't need to be out there. But it's not that many that at this point that want to be out there. And I'm not criticizing because I had my son out there 5 years old, but I'm also older now, and I see it differently.
Yeah.
But coaches play a big part in that.
They do.
Because they see it too.
They do.
They see it too. And I see it too. So
especially if you somebody from the sideline looking, they see it for sure.
They gotta see it. You know what I'm saying? And some of these kids are still, even the 12-year-olds, they're babies.
Yeah.
They're babies, and they out there with some dogs.
Yeah, man.
And these dogs coming for their heads.
Yeah.
And they got them kids, because like you said, them 6 kids will hurt your kid. Because I've seen when we did the tackle, they like, oh, we gonna run. Like they running through your kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now your kid's sitting there tiptoeing around. And my son, I was like, Gavin, you gonna get hurt. Now, granted, he got a little bit of stuff in him when he, like a lot of people, they want to tackle this one big kid on this team. And he went try to tackle him. But a lot of times he tiptoeing around. I'm like, dude, you can't tiptoe, because they're gonna have that one kid that want to get that. Because now these kids so into the social media and they got the highlights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They want that.
They want
cold cock you. So they come around.
I had a kid mic'd up yesterday. One of them dogs. I had him mic'd up yesterday. That boy was going around killing everything he saw, move everything.
Now, what was the age group?
He was 10.
10.
See?
Everything that moved, he was going after. Nonstop. And he got hurt. He hurt his leg, and he was out for silent. But you could tell he did not want to be out there. Game. And he got back in that game and back to mission.
Back to it.
Man, everything that was moving, he was killing. And some of them kids, I was like, man, this boy. The mic even came off a couple of times. The mic flew off. He had time to find the mic, give it back to me. I was like, man, just focus on the game. He was like, no, I want the mic. Put the mic back on him. He's killing everything. But he just one of them kids.
Yeah, man. Some kids just, they got it. They got that the mindset for that. And you just never know what they're working towards either, though. Because like we talked to a couple of parents before, and they invest so much in the child. I mean, because they feel like that's their way out. So like this is it. Like we all in on you. So we need this. So we're going to take you to every trip. We're going to get, and I don't know if that's a lot of pressure for a kid.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What do y'all think about that? Because I see that a lot. And the excuse is we want them in college, but in reality, they already paying for college.
They're already paying for college, right?
Yeah, and they paying from the time I see it. They paying from the time they 6 to they 18. You already paid for it.
Yeah.
And it might not even pan out.
Right.
But what do y'all think about that? Like, it's kids now who do football not year-round tackling, but year-round
the
football.
7-on-7 and
something.
Yeah.
Year-round from 6 to when they done.
Yeah.
What do y'all think about that for one sport?
I wouldn't do it. My thing is like your body's still growing. Even like with the 10-year-old, and even look at me and Frank were talking about this. How many of these kids? And I was going to ask you too. How many of these kids are really making it from I've been a 6-year-old star, and I'm in college. How many of them are making it that far?
Yeah, you're right.
You don't hear about these kids in college.
You're right.
I think it was like my friend was like, it's 2 people that was on this like super team from these young people. It's like only like 2 or 3 of them made it to college. Mm-hmm. But now, what happened to the other 50-some kids?
Right.
You just wasted. Like, it's not even wasted because if they're having fun, do it. But then I'm drawing the line at a certain point.
Yeah.
Like if you having fun and you doing the stuff, I'm like, okay, cool. But man, just stay in the books. There's so much. That's the biggest thing, especially with being able to go to college and just seeing like other people like quality of life with their body. Like my finger. Yeah. It's from a football game, and I have a. See,
I'm all jacked up too.
Your hands don't work the same.
Well, is the issue? Maybe the issue is and I'm gonna go black people. Who are our heroes? Who are the people that we look up to? And a majority of the kids will name athletes.
Athletes, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and so they don't know any better.
To
man.
piggyback off of that, I'm a one thing that my wife does, and she does a great job at this, is that outside of we'll take off the athletes and rappers or whoever you want to call, like one of the reasons why we moved to Columbia is for my kids to have diversity. Because where we was at, it was just predominantly white. And we didn't like that. Like my wife want my kids to see black dentists and black orthodontists.
Yeah.
So we see something outside of that because, dang, I mean, it's just everything white.
Yeah.
Or everything, it's just, and nothing against that.
Yeah.
But me and my wife, like they need to see representation outside of, normally the athletes are the ones that we can look up to.
Yeah.
Not the dentists or not a dentist or a lawyer or whatever it may be. So that's one of the things my wife does a great job. That's one reason why we moved here, because we seen Blackfoot. Blackfoot is a school that's almost 50-50 when it comes to black and white.
Yeah.
So I mean, and that's wonderful.
True.
I mean, I agree. I mean, it. And I'm not knocking nobody for going to an all black school or all white school. That's your choice with your kids. But me and my wife gonna do what we want to do with ours.
Yeah.
And we feel like representation outside of just being a great athlete, you need to show them other stuff, like like I just said, like a dentist, a doctor, or something.
It's a big world.
Or somebody that whatever it may be.
Whatever.
So that's how I look at it. They need that representation outside of just athletes.
I guess. Yeah. What could I do to? Because I promote just athletes.
Mm-hmm.
And but I think about that. I think about, man, I wish these kids would because they devote their lives to the sport, which isn't bad, because I notice athletes really don't get in trouble like that because they're so busy doing their thing. And there's some good kids out here, honestly.
I agree.
The kids I come across, man, they're good, respectful. Everybody speaks to me, polite, Mr. Blue Marble, all that stuff, man. But what can I do to like help that? Is there anything? Oh, that's too tough of a question right now.
No, I think highlighting them also, like how you had them on the podcast, and I think the one I saw with you guys, you talking about the grades and different stuff like that.
Okay.
Always when they come in here, we talk about the football stuff, but then we talk about the grades.
Yeah.
And talk about what happens. And that's the thing. You even a way better example thing is what happens when you don't make it,
right?
Or what's your alternative plan?
Yeah.
Because did you finish your degree?
I didn't.
Oh, okay. But you had 6 years, but
I was a top 10 pick too, so
yeah. So it's a whole different situation, and then it's hard to go back to school. Right. The only reason I asked that because like you had, like you said, you was top 10. Not everybody top 10. So, but for you, you could explain to them like, hey, when this fails, you gotta have something to fall back on.
And I think we had one interview. I think it might have been, I don't know, or maybe I was watching something, and they be like, they don't have no plan B. Like, this is it. They either make it or they don't.
That's scary.
It is scary.
Yeah. When you working out, that's when you don't have a plan B.
Right.
When it's practice time.
Yeah.
Now, after practice, you got to have that plan B. Because a lot of people, I know they'd be like, well, if I got a plan B, I ain't going hard for this. No. From 3:30 to 6 o'clock, you ain't got no plan B.
Right.
After 6:30 or 6 o'clock when practice finish, now we working on plan B.
Right.
That homework stuff, because a lot of these kids, I don't know what they're doing now, but a lot of these kids, some of them I talk to, don't realize you can't get into that D1 college because of your grades. Now you in a D2 hoping to get stuff. Right. Even me, I fell asleep during the ACT.
Yeah.
Luckily, I was decent enough for them to put you in that special. They made a special class for like a lot of the students that didn't do good on the reading part. My grades were good though.
Yeah.
I had a 3.7, but you still gotta get into college. You gotta get the ACT or SAT. So I'm literally, me and my quarterback, cause our last name is W. We in the ACT stuff. I see him put his head down. I see, our Christmas tree, and I rest my head down. I was like, I'm done. So but. It's understand, but I did not understand the consequence of it. I know I need to take it, do okay on it, and then but I don't know what the grade was.
Right.
I did not understand none of it.
I know we preach that to our kids. Like, they're not playing a sport after football, so football's over with. They won't play another sport till track season. So they'll take the basketball season off. And cause my son came to me and said, I got invited to a 7-on-7. I was like, well, that's good. That's good. But we not doing nothing right now. We gonna work on grades and track season.
So you're taking off 7-on-7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they had enough football. That's good.
Football over.
Football good for now. Yeah, y'all. That mean they give their mom and daddy need a break too, because we be running behind y'all after every practice. So we gonna pick you up from school. You get your work, have your fun time with your friends, whatever, and then we'll get ready for track.
I mean, what coach can come against you as far as experience?
It don't matter to me. Coach can say what they want to. Like I said before.
Yep. You did it in the
Them my
NFL,
kids,
too.
right? Like,
Yep.
I feel like me and my wife put our kids in the best position for that, as far as to be successful. And you can't not grind yourself to death. Like, I mean, to pick something like what we decided when our kids were young, like we just gonna throw them in something like this, and something gonna stick. They're gonna be good at something. They're gonna enjoy something. My daughter, the perfect example. She did not want to play no volleyball. Like, she was against it. I don't want to play. So we started her at the Y. So she started playing a little bit. Then she realized, like, I might be actually good at it. So the second year, then we started doing travel volleyball. Then when she really got some coaches that can really teach her what to do, then now she want to do everything volleyball. Everything. Take my money and everything. So I was like, you know what? This is an investment.
You can't tell.
You
can't that she didn't want to play volleyball. I got a text. I was at his daughter's championship game. I got a text. What's the number?
15.
Number 15, a beast. I was like, and I sent you. Oh yeah, I sent you the screenshot.
Text. Yeah.
Well, she was out there having a good time.
Yeah, she was. Yeah. So, but that's the thing with them. You don't have to pick the sport for your kid. Like, just throw them in whatever, it be swimming, soccer, whatever.
Soccer, yeah.
Just throw them in it, and then they'll be like, this is actually pretty fun. Like
karate. Like
karate.
I threw my son was getting in fights in school.
Yeah.
Every year, getting in fights in school, and put him in karate. You would think, okay, now when he gets in a fight, he'd be okay. Hasn't been in fights
because they
then.
teach you it's more than just that. Yeah,
Yes.
self-discipline. Yeah.
No fights, can probably kill someone.
Right,
but
if you need to.
just chills, and I love that, man. But I never would have thought karate.
Right.
My neighborhood football, basketball.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
See, my youngest, that's what he does, taekwondo. So
okay.
And that's his sport.
Oh,
and
nice.
he's really good. Like he go in, like we go to get his belt test. He'll come in like they put him at the front of the line because he know what to do, how to do it. But he's that's his and it teach him a whole lot, confidence, all that. So
I wish I put my kids in combat earlier.
Yeah.
All of them. Now that I think about it, but live and you learn.
Yeah, I agree.
I ain't gonna start over to find out again.
I don't do that. Lee don't do that.
Hey, so you just had surgery.
Yes, sir.
How you feeling about that? And what's your plans for the next couple?
Just did the neck because of stuff. So went to Vegas doing the rehab out there because it's free for the fighters. Mm-hmm. So you could go to the PI, you get free breakfast, lunch, treatment, strength and conditioning. So just building the body back up because during the surgery they have to strap you down. So it looked like it was like pulled on your. I'm tight already. I don't do no stretching.
Right.
Them pulling on me while I'm asleep. They stuff. It's just part of it. So I just had to build that back up and not working. Then I was doing a bunch of stuff. So just getting that body rehab, then trying to get. I'm hoping for December, a last minute fight. Mm-hmm. But see, I'm like your son, where he like just throw me in.
Right.
Yeah. So I need coaches. That's why I got my coaches. They like because they try to offer me a fight. I had a procedure done. And they tried to offer me a fight the week after, and I was like, "Coach, what you think?" They was like, "No." I was like, "But me, I'm done. I'll take it." So hopefully December grab something, and then just keep rolling. Yeah. Biggest part about being big, like even with the football, is like you're on their schedule.
Yeah, I agree.
So now it's just like
So just trying to train into
that. Yeah, just train until then. Yep.
I'm looking forward to that next one.
Yes, sir. Gotta come out to Vegas.
I'm coming. Yeah. I'm coming. Is Coach in town? Is he gonna be there?
Coach Danny, yeah.
Coach
Danny's there. Coach Philippe, he in Georgia, so I be having to travel for training.
Yeah.
So, and like I say with the MMA, you find your coaches and
wherever they at, you go or they come.
Yeah. So I had the coach for the one fight. He flew over here, came and stayed with me, coach. Because I didn't want to have to go back to Vegas, so he came and stayed. And my other coach, he drove up from Georgia and stayed with me for a week. Okay. When the other coach had to go back, and he, helped and stuff like that. But like I said, with football, we're talking about with football and stuff, is like you can pick your coaches.
Right.
You know, you might have 5 coaches in the gym, and you might not gel with a few of them. But when it comes to the fight time, they might know what they doing, so that you take the information, but you don't have to have them in your corner.
Right.
You only take 3 people. So now you pick the 3 people that gel with you, got the same energy. Like my coaches, you seem like they don't yell.
Yeah.
We just be in there talking like, all right, I think my coach is Cuban.
Yeah.
He speaks barely a lot of English, so he be in there.
Man, it's interesting being in a room with, I call them 3 killers, and everybody just the coolest,
Mellow,
calmest,
and
nicest people. And I brought my kids around. My son's a wrestler, so to be able to bring my son to a UFC event, go down to the training hall, and him wrestle with a UFC fighter.
Yeah.
Man, I'm forever grateful for that, bro.
Thank you for coming.
That's
forever grateful for that, man. That change. That would be an experience he'll never forget. So I'm forever grateful for that. But yeah, and congrats to Coach Danny. He's a champion now.
Yeah. So
Coach Danny fighter beat Israel Adesanya. I know
Oh, yeah?
you heard that name before.
Yeah.
So they had
the other one took the belt from him.
That's what's
and
up.
that's his coach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And then Strickland's the one who got me Coach Danny.
Yeah.
Like everybody look, and that's the thing with people is like you look at the outside and stuff like that, and then you get to know the person. And he set me up with Vegas. He's the reason I keep going to Vegas.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I was out there just doing the little PI stuff for the UFC, and he was like, "You wrestle?" I was like, "He's like, you the wrestler guy?" I was like, "Yeah, I guess I'm the wrestler guy." You know, people think. He was like, "You need to come to our gym," and I went. But when I went, it's so welcoming. Where it's like, like when you go to the teams, everybody like you got the vets that just be standoffish. They don't want to talk to the rookie and that stuff. So now with MMA, it's different because coaches gonna still put you in the game compared to with MMA. It's like you could get stuck, which I've had before, get stuck in the back with the guy that just show up to the gym.
Right.
He pay a membership, so he just dead. So now you training with that guy. He don't know what he doing.
Yeah.
He hitting you with karate chops with gloves on. You be like, I remember that one dude, he used to run and hit you. He'll back up, run, hit you, and then keep running. And that's how he'll spar.
Really?
Yeah. So I got stuck training with him.
Yeah.
Because still like a rookie dude.
Yeah.
But with Strickland, you go to the gym, he like, you need to go train with this person, this person, this person. He telling them like you need to train with him.
Yeah.
So now you're not sitting there like in La La Land.
Right.
So he the one who got me my coach and then got me because I ended up training with Francis Ngannou out there for my first fight this year. So you saw the boxing fight yesterday?
I did.
Too. You think he got robbed?
I think
he
so.
definitely got robbed.
I think so.
And I knew you were gonna knock him down. I kept telling folks, they're like, man, but Fury. I was like, y'all don't feel this man got.
Yeah, he got robbed, no doubt.
So you felt his punches. You felt Francis.
Oh yeah. Dazed me twice. But I kept standing. That's the one thing. I keep standing. I'm gonna get hurt, but I'm gonna keep standing.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
Man, he caught me. Boom. Boom.
Hey, we can talk to you forever, man. But they're about to run us out of here.
They are.
All right, yep.
Hey, appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
I'll be there next one. Don't forget to call me, man. I'll be there.
Oh, always.
All right, bro. We out of here, man.
We out.
All right, Troy.